Hey, Lindsay, can you
So,
hear me okay?
yeah, hi Darren. Hi.
Hey, thanks for making time to do this. Am I getting you from Los Angeles at the moment?
Austin, Texas.
Wow, do you live in Austin?
I do now.
Wow. I'm finding more and more people from the entertainment world are moving out to Austin. And
Yeah.
15 years ago, people really just knew Austin for, say, good barbecue and South by Southwest. But what brought you out there?
Well, my new series is shooting here, Walker.
Yes.
So that was the initial reason. But I actually went to college in Austin. So it's always been a city I really loved. And you know what? I just kind of wanted some change. And my family's here. My family's like an hour away. So it's been really nice to kind of just go back to my roots for a bit.
Now, I do want to ask you a little bit about Walker later, but we're here to talk about Skylines. I get 20 different answers when I interview an actor or an actress with this question. I say, when did you film this new movie?
You get different answers for that?
Yeah, people go, oh, we finished it 4 years ago, and I haven't seen it yet. Some people do actually say that.
Oh, we finished it a year and a half ago. We finished it last summer, last July in Lithuania.
In
So
Lithuania. Well, that was going to be my next question because there's some amazing special effects in this movie, and I couldn't figure out, was it all done in the same place or is it, five different settings?
it was all done the same. It was crazy because we were originally supposed to go to the Canary Islands in Spain to do kind of like the alien planet and alien world. But, we were just kind of in the trenches of filming in Lithuania at our studio, and something happened. I'm not completely sure, but they were like, you know what? It's too crazy to move the continents over, or countries. We're still in Europe,
Yeah.
multiple countries over. So we're just going to stay here. So, but it was so crazy for our production design team because they're like, "Hi, we have to build an alien planet in a weekend. Go for it." So they were able to pull off like such amazing work in such a little amount of time. And I think it looks great. We're in a warehouse in Lithuania, and like the rocks are styrofoam, and like there's black trash bags for our caves and canyons, and like glitter glue on them. Like what they use to make it, it's wild. And I think it looks, so great on screen.
Yeah. Were you filming it on break from the 100?
Yes, it was in between the 6th and 7th season.
Got it. If you go through like your acting history, like Michael J. Fox made Back to the Future while he was doing Family Ties. It was like
Yes.
mornings on set here and evenings on set. Was it tough for you to be on two projects at the same time, or was it purely a break and it was easier?
It was purely a break. Like what we would do is we would have like about 5 months hiatus between the seasons. So I had wrapped the 6th season of the 100 in February, I believe, and so I started filming Skylines in May. So I had about a 2 month or 2 month gap. I think it's pretty rare to do the Michael J. Fox thing.
Yeah.
I think Rob Lowe also did it for a bit in his career. He was like in the West Wing and doing something else, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Lots of times production doesn't like that because things can go wrong, and then you're late for one set because one took too long, or there's traffic and you
Right.
can't. So I think they try not to do that. And also that's a lot. That's crazy.
That is a lot. I'm not even doing it and just thinking about the logistics of it all. That's crazy talk.
Exhausted.
Was it your first time in Lithuania making this movie?
Yes. I've never been that east of Europe. And, it's very different from places in Europe I've visited, but it was really cool. I actually really enjoyed it and really liked Lithuania.
That's great to hear. Had you done a lot of filming overseas? When I looked through your credits, it looks like most of it is kind of in Studio City, but I could be totally wrong.
Most of it was in LA and Canada and New York. And then a little bit here and there, but I I had done like some commercials overseas, but I hadn't filmed a movie that far away from home ever. Like, you know, you're a world away in Lithuania than LA. So that was a big leap for me, and just very different, you know, just things are different anywhere you go. But you know, also I didn't speak Lithuanian. So that was also interesting.
Well, now we know that you do have a passport. Yeah, every now and then you encounter an actor or an actress that doesn't have a passport, and they don't get it until they have to do the overseas filming.
Oh man, yeah, I have my passport. I'm good to go.
And something I have no idea about, you know, I could tell you how albums are made. I can't tell you how movies are made. In a film like yours, where you're fighting imaginary creatures, is somebody reading the lines? Is somebody going, I am growling? How do you react? How does that work?
That's hilarious. Yeah, you're right. We will either have we'll have both. We'll either have the AD, which is the assistant director, or whoever wants to, like Liam read lines for me at one point, you know, whoever wants to will read it off camera, because you have these, you know, our stunt guys in these crazy suits that have a mask and they don't, you know, they don't open. But the man who played my brother, Trent, Jeremy Fitzgerald, who's one of our stunt guys, and he's awesome. He was able to have Trent respond, you know, in these like small physical movements or grunts that, they were so key in helping me of just like having some kind of physical reaction and response. But you're absolutely right. It's pretty silly. Like,
well, I'm not looking for silly. I'm looking to say that's a huge amount of credit that goes to you, because you hear the stories about how Johnny Depp has the earpiece with the music in it to trigger the emotional reactions and all that. I'm assuming you did not have this on this film, so you kind of have to get into character with literally acting. Like, there's not somebody there that is actually to put you in the moment. So I have to imagine that's one of the more challenging roles that you've had to evoke that kind of emotion out of nothing.
100%. And it was so funny because I didn't even really realize it until we got there. You know, because usually when I read scripts, I kind of like see the movie in my head. And I was like, oh yeah, she has an alien brother. Yeah. And then I didn't realize what that was. And it's a guy in a suit. And I can't even see his eyes, like nothing. He can't speak to me. So it was a really interesting challenge. But I also really, I thought it was really good, because it really got me back to my basics of just being like a little kid and using my imagination. And, you know, it's a beautiful place to be, but it is hard. I will say, working with someone.
I couldn't do it.
way easier. So it was a trip.
And then you mentioned the show Walker before, which I'm assuming is a Walker, Texas Ranger continuation or something in the lineage of it?
Yes, it's the reboot.
It's the reboot.
Yes, so it's completely different.
Well, we've seen in the past few years some reboots that have been excellent because they took all the tropes or the things that made the thing kind of bad in retrospect and made it funny. Like the new Saved by the Bell show, they waste no time in doing a Jesse Spano caffeine pill story arc. They waste no time in that. In this Walker series, does it make reference to the past?
No, I was literally told not to watch the original because they want to do something completely different with it. And as far as my knowledge, I didn't watch it, but also just from like speaking to people about it, and I tell them about our imagining of Walker, they're like, oh wow, this is completely different. So
are you aware? You don't strike me as the biggest fan of late night television, like as in that you were a comedy nerd who was watching Conan OBrien in their yesteryear. But do you know about how Conan OBrien used to have the Walker Texas Ranger lever?
No. What? What is this?
He would just be behind the desk. This is late 90s, early 2000s. And he'd pull a lever that was obviously connected to nothing. And then it would just cut to a clip of you know, Chuck Norris karate kicking somebody.
That's pretty epic. No. Is that where all the memes started? Like, I always wonder, where did all those epic Chuck Norris jokes just like be birthed from in the world, you know?
It could have been a combination of things, but I think the bottom line is you're part of a great new series. And do we know what network it's being made for?
Yes, we'll be premiering on the CW on January 21st.
So the CW relationship for you is a long-term one.
They're they're my family.
That's fantastic. And a couple more quick questions, and then you're on your way to be asked the same 10 questions over and over and over again, of course. The first one I have is, what is life like for you outside of acting? Do you have a lot of hobbies, or is it more of a secret?
Well, you know what? It's interesting. I do have a lot of hobbies, but I do like to stay pretty private in my personal life, just because I think it's really, you know, I think when I was younger, I was probably a lot more public with like what I do, you know, and also social media and everything. And, you know, I have that ability to do it. And so I was very forthcoming and like sharing my interests, but, which I still am. But there's also a big part of me now that likes to take time to really be a bit introspective and reflective. And, you know, I like to read a lot. I watch a lot of film. I watch a lot of TV. I like to, you know, really stay abreast on new projects and performances and just how people are making things. And I directed last year, so I'm still nourishing my directing aspirations. And so I study a lot of film and television on that, and just ways that I can better myself and better my craft and be more creative. But I'm also very active. I love going outside. I love Muay Thai, I love kickboxing, the martial art. I love to do, I'm learning to ride a motorcycle, which is super cool. And I'm also doing a lot of horseback riding for the show, and that's been really cool. So I'm going to definitely keep doing that.
That's a better answer than I was expecting. Well,
I also sleep a lot. I do a lot of sleeping.
A lot of people go, oh, I'm kind of boring. I don't do much. I work, and then I just spend time with my family. And then you go, okay. But that's one heck of a poster behind you. Big James Bond fan in general?
Yes. Also Sean Connery. He's a legend. R.I.P.
Indeed. One of the tragic losses of 2020, to say the least. So 2 quick questions, and then you're free. And the first one is, what's a TV recommendation that you could pass along for somebody that needs a new series to binge watch?
I mean, this is old, but Queen's Gambit. I've already watched it twice. It's so great. Every level is great. Acting, directing, the writing, the artistic direction, the costumes, the set. It's got everything.
Not at all.
What else? What else have I been kind of watching? Oh, The Undoing. It's okay. I'll start The Flight Attendant. Okay. The Queen's Gambit so far is my favorite.
Well, you got taste then. And the closer, Lindsay, any last words for the kids?
Thank you, and go watch Skylines December 18th.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time, and really looking forward to seeing what's coming up for you.
Thank you, Darren.
Have a great
You're
rest
awesome.
of the day.
Yeah.
Paltrocast.